I'm just going to make some pheasant soup with these pheasant carcasses from the pheasants that I prepared yesterday. Before we make the soup, we make the stock. Now, stock is nothing more than the water that something has boiled in. So don't take any notice of this business of boil the bones with 3/4 of an onion and 2 sticks of celery and 5/8 of a teaspoonful of salt. Just boil it in water and you've got your stock. Now, I don't habitually use dirty saucepans, but this is the saucepan in which I have just made some venison stew. The stew is now in our tummies and the rest of it is in the freezer. So there's no point in wasting the flavour that's left in the pan with that bit of gravy. So I'm adding the bones from the pheasants. Could just as well be the carcass of a roast pheasant, or the leg bones from some pheasant thighs. But this is the bodies from those pheasants that I prepared. And while we're talking about stock, this is the water in which the potatoes for lunch were boiled. So we'll use that as well. No point in wasting any flavour. Then just enough water to cover. That's all we need, just enough to cover. And bring it to the boil and simmer it for 2 or 3 hours. Here we are on another day. We've got all the carcasses left from the partridges that we had for Sunday lunch. The 2 that didn't get consumed, I've taken the breast meat off and I will save that to put back in the soup. So we drop all those in there, a whole lot. Scrape the plate clean. I'll put in the leftover gravy and a couple of pheasant chassis that I've just prepared. Here goes leftover gravy. Now today I don't have any vegetable stock water to put in there, so I'm just going to cover them with water before I boil them. Carrot water is very nice in the soup stock, a lot of flavour and sweetness. So the pheasant carcasses have now been simmering for 2 or 3 hours, so we've got most of the goodness out of them. So I'm just going to drop them through this sieve into another saucepan. And we'll leave that lot to drain for a while. Then the next day, when it's all cooled down, we can skim any fat and scum off the top of the stock. Find a ladle the easiest way to do it. It doesn't really matter if we lose a bit of stock doing this, because the dog appreciates it. So we drip this lot onto some dog biscuits. Sometimes the stock turns to jelly, which is even better because it's more concentrated stock. Then with this lot that's left in here, we can strip the meat off it. It's no good in the soup because all the goodness and flavour has been boiled out of it, but the dog very much appreciates it, and as we know, we shouldn't give the dog poultry bones. Then into the cold stock, or even the hot stock if you warmed it, and put some mixed vegetables. Sweet vegetables, I've got leeks, potatoes, carrots, a bit of celery and some onion. Be careful about things like parsnip and turnip and cabbage because they're very strongly flavoured. You don't want to end up with turnip soup unless you want turnip soup. Herbs, I put a bit of parsley in. You can choose your own flavour, of course. Plenty of black pepper, a bit of white pepper if you like the heat. And then to thicken it, a couple of tablespoons full of red lentils should do. You can use porridge oats or the crumbs off the breadboard, but don't put too much in because you don't want it sticking while it's cooking. Once the veg have cooked, if you've got some leftover meat to put in, like pheasant meat or anything else, you can drop that in. Today I'm going to be putting a bit of leftover ham in. That's why I haven't put any salt in it, because the ham should be salty enough. So, season to taste. And there we are, a lovely pan of soup. Vegetable and pheasant. And I've got a bit of leftover ham, so that's going in now. I'll just bring it back to the boil and the job's done. But there aren't any hard and fast rules with soup, but I would say that unless you're going to eat it straight away, don't put rice or pasta in it. With rice there's a food poisoning issue, reheating rice, and pasta goes sloppy and stodgy and unpleasant when it's reheated. So there we are, lunchtime. Lovely, delicious. And cost next to nothing. A carrot and an onion and a potato. And they were all out of the garden.